Obviously, big day for you. Much has been made of the fact that you are so young. How does it feel to get out there?
Oh, we're incredibly excited. I think first, just to prove what a massive opportunity there is to sell to the chief product officer in the enterprise. It's one of the most underserved personas that there is. And then secondly, just to prove the model that we do with a direct listing and showing that it can work for B2B companies, even if you're not a large, well-known consumer brand.
56% pop, that's great momentum, but do you have any concerns about leaving money on the table?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I think this is one of the big advantages of a direct listing over a traditional IPO. With a traditional IPO, you consistently underprice your company. If you look at 2020, the average company going through a traditional IPO underpriced themselves by 20%, which is absolutely massive. And so there's no question in my mind that a direct listing was the right choice for Amplitude, and I'm really happy to see how we did today, and I'm really excited to see other companies follow this path.
You know, I know you're a benchmark company. We've heard a lot from Bill Gurley about how he prefers direct listings over traditional IPOs. Was that what tipped the scales for you? I know Benchmark's Eric Vistria is also on your board.
It definitely helped. When I was first learning about the process, I spent a lot of time studying the different ways that you could go public, firstly through a SPAC, through a traditional IPO, through a modified IPO with an auction, and finally through a direct listing. And it was so clear that the advantages of a direct listing were head and shoulders above everyone else. You can get market-based pricing for your stock on the very first day. I think the problem with a traditional IPO is that you're effectively selling what should be worth $1 for 50 cents. And so as a CEO and a fiduciary to my shareholders, there's absolutely no way that anyone was going to get me to do a traditional IPO, whether or not we had Benchmark on the board. We're really excited about their support. It's the second direct listing they've done. What's also exciting, it's also it's the first direct listing for a lot of the other VCs that are on our board, including the folks at Sequoia and a few others.
You say Amplitude is what Adobe does for marketing and Salesforce does for sales. Much has been made about your leadership, you being, such a young founder and CEO to take a company public. Do you think your age is an advantage?
I've been really lucky within Silicon Valley. There were a lot of people that were willing to invest in whatever potential they saw in me from a relatively early age. I came out when I was 21. And I've been very lucky to lead Amplitude for the last 10 years. I think, it definitely helps you. I'd say the bigger thing about Silicon Valley is that, people don't hold your age against you, which is definitely something that's been very frustrating for me growing up in other parts of the country. And so I'm just really excited that, we're able to show that there's not just what we've accomplished so far, but that there's a massive opportunity ahead of us with Amplitude.
And quick question, post-pandemic growth, now that we're coming out of this, what do you see as the road for growth ahead?
Well, we've already given a forecast of 40% growth for 2022, so we're really excited about that. I think, exactly when what growth happens, it's going to be hard to say. But I think the macro trend of digital becoming way more important, the product being the revenue center in all these companies, and those product managers and chief product officers needing a system of record to do their jobs, that's absolutely happening.